In Madagascar is a lot of potential for the solar energy. When the teacher make mistakes, minimum is like one of the classrooms will be died.
Welcome to Essential Tips and Tricks on how to be a successful college student, the place where students' questions find their answers. I'm your host, Ants, and today's episode is with Jacques Alphonse. I hope you'll enjoy.
All right. Thank you for joining me in this call today. Would you please let us know where are you calling us from?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much, Miss Answer, for inviting me for this sharing talk today. It's a very pleasure for me to glad for me to review for this talking today. So I'm calling from Turkey for this your first question, I think.
Yeah. So our second question, where are you from and where did you grow up?
I'm from Madagascar, and I also grew up in Madagascar. Yeah, if you talk about the city, I think like from Tamatavio to Amasna. This is like the second city in Madagascar.
All right. So please tell us a brief story about your academic journey.
Yeah, of course. For this question, I think I'm starting from this university in Antilan University in Madagascar. I start from my academic journey for pursuing bachelor degree in electrical engineering at NSET. NSET is like a university, one of the department in the University of Antilan, Madagascar. And during this undergraduate years, I'm learning from my professor in that time, so that the natural source, because I'm studying of electrical engineering, especially for the power plants, electrical power plant. So in that time, one of my professors, when we're discussing about the study working, the project, and sometimes for the social life. So in that time, you talk about like by the way, for the future, the natural sources like oil, gas, they're using for the powering the electrical device, so will be finished by the future. So in that way, I'm so surprising because why I choose this field, because all for the future will be finished for this recharging. So I asked him like, what we going to do for by the future if this most of this natural research will be finished. And he said to me, most of the recharging now has been starting to find a new energy resourcing for the electrical power station. So, and also I asked him like, which kind of the research will become for the next decade or for the few years. So he said like some of the nuclear energy sources, solar energy sources, wind energy sources, and so on. So that's why I'm thinking in my mind that like maybe after this undergraduate for electrical energy, I'm trying to study more about the new energy resourcing. But unfortunately, in our university, University of Madagascar, they doesn't know have this field about like wind or solar or nuclear energy. And that's why after my undergraduating, I decided to pursue my master degree in nuclear physics at Antananarivo University, so in Ankara. So that's why I'm coming to in 2010. I starting to pursue my master degree in in nuclear physics at University of Antananarivo. And I finished this in 2012, I think. Yeah, 2012, I finished my master's degree over there. And after that, I'm trying to continue because I gained some of experiences in that way. So I think like if I need to pursue my objective, because my objective in my life is to become like a researcher in the energy, electrical energy especially, or after that, I changed my mind to try like a fund of this energy resources, and I applied for a PhD abroad because in that time in University of Antananarivo, it's so difficult to find like a PhD or this nuclear physics, because we should have like a collaboration with the university abroad, because we be like we bought some of the devices to make some research on some of the product using for make some the research in the laboratory. We should most of the students do like a collaboration with the university abroad, especially in France or Belgium or Switzerland or Germany, something like that. But to find this collaboration is not easy. So in that way, I'm trying to apply for a PhD in abroad, but unfortunately too, they didn't have like a acceptation for that. And that's why in that way, my brother, he was a student, a master student in Stellenbosch, South Africa. So when he discusses together about my educational situation, like he said to me, like try to apply for AIMS, because at AIMS most of the courses at AIMS, like this mathematics. So he said like it will be a little difficult for you to continue at AIMS, but if they apply, you can have like an opportunity. You can find an opportunity or meet with some of the professor, some of the teacher, or maybe some of the university too in Senegal or something else. So I'm applied for this AIMS Senegal. Why AIMS Senegal? This is the one of the question maybe we ask me to after. Why AIMS Senegal? Yeah, just it like because of the language. Because in that time, my English is I can't say like which level, maybe like E1 or maybe E2, I don't know. But because of the language, I applied it for AIMS Senegal. Okay, and after AIMS Senegal, I came back to Madagascar. When I finished the AIMS Senegal, I came back to Madagascar. In that way, I finished like I didn't think about like to continue for a study again, but I said like, okay, for the studies, maybe it is the last this one, but I'm trying to focus, because the main is if like make some the man is, for example, if you have like some more a level of the ages, it should be make money. Yeah. So I starting to work at the Ambatovy project in Madagascar, especially in Tamatave. And when I starting work a little like around like just one is like that. So after when because I forgot to say, like when I was in Senegal, I applied for a PhD in the Turkey university. They have like they calling like a Turkish scholarship. I found this program over there. They have someone to advise me to apply for this. And I always applied the first when I was in Senegal, but unfortunately they make like my application was rejected, and that's why I came back to Madagascar. They starting for working, and after 1 year, just for them, they send me an email again to say like if you want to continue for applying for this Turkey scholarship, you can't just for submit your application, because your document is already in your system. So that's why I just submitted. I didn't think like to continue about this PhD in that time. So just applying, and after that, maybe after like 2 months like that, they make like a result. They say like you need to meet with you as an interview on the Turkish embassy in Antananarivo, and you make some of the procedure over there, and that's I'm coming in Turkey for propose the PhD. And but by the way, but all of this time, so I just thinking about like just the energy, about the energy sourcing for the future. Even when I was working in at Ambatovy, so as a electrical inspector, this is means like just to control the design and electrical installation for some of the device in some of the device in the plant. they're using like the using for the pipeline in the Ambatovy project. In that way, they're using like a mining resources, not like a wall, but the mining resources. In that way, I found like a new kind of the recharge of the energy. In that way, that I'm thinking for this a new recharging for the energy. And during my PhD journey here, so I'm working about like energy storage, especially for vanadium redox flow battery. This is like a continue for that objective, because when I starting from here, in the beginning, I talk with my supervisor, so we discuss about which kind of the subject you'd like to continue for your PhD, you'd like to make your research. And I said like, I would like to continue for the solar energy, because in Madagascar is a lot of potential for the solar energy. But as I understand, when I'm starting for reading articles and read some of the document, the books, the solar energy is kind of of course, is like a renewable energy, limiting. But for the efficiency is very low, if you compare it to other sources like nuclear or some of the battery. And that's why I'm trying to change my idea for working about the energy storage like battery, because this is a new system. As for example, now even here in Turkey, I think they're starting to produce a vehicle, a new car using by electrical vehicle. So in that way, if you're trying to use like an electric vehicle, so if it's there, they have no charge station, that is not make sense. So that's why this idea even come from my teacher, said like, okay, by the way, the Turkey is starting for produce a electric vehicle like a motorcyclet or car, and now it's starting for the car too. So you need like find a system to give like a charge station to replace this petrol station or wall station in Turkey. Yeah, first of all, because the project should be in Turkey first, but maybe we're going for the large area. Why not maybe by the future too, you're going in our country in Madagascar?
Yeah, thank you so much. I learned a lot from that story. Things that I didn't think of before. Okay, so when you were in middle school or high school, what career path did you think you would have, or you already think that, oh, I'm gonna specialize in energy? Like, when did that happen?
Yeah, first, when I was in middle school or high school, I would like to become an electrical engineering like my father. But the ideas change because of the station like this. For example, as an electrical engineering in Madagascar, for example, it should be make enter an exam like for entering the polytechnical university in Antananarivo or in Antsiranana they have, but those exam is little bit very hard for me. So unfortunately, I didn't pass. I didn't pass the exam, and after that, I'm entered to the exam for the ENSET. A little bit easy for the exam. That's why I continue for study in the ENSET.
Okay, so tell us about your experience at ENSET then.
At the ENSET, I gain a ton of experience about how to teach and how to make a preparation for courses, because this is very important, because to prepare the course before starting teaching is very important. It takes a lot of time. And also, I think one of the best experience as I gained from INSET, I learned about educational psychology. Because this is one of the things important, and in that way, I said like I'm not regret to study in this university, because this educational psychology is really is like how to know some people before you talk with him. For example, in the classroom, when you start for the teaching some students, you should know which kind of this student is in front of you. All of them is they're different. They are not in the same idea. They are not in the same thinking. So the teacher should know about that. And this too is not just for in the classroom, but when in going in the industry or in the company. Maybe some students become like a chief or boss in this. You're going to explain or working with some of the workers how to discuss with those workers, how to think. Like some of the workers, for example, they have some of problem in his hair, or some of problem is in eyes. How to discuss with them? It should be not the same. Or we should be attracted, the boss should be attracted for this worker because the objective is to do that worker is feeling comfortable in this area. When he's feel comfortable, the work is going through on the objective. Yeah, because why I said like I didn't regret, I didn't lost my time to continue to pushing my study of an INSET, because in Madagascar, especially in your country, so there, like when you said like going for working as a teacher, most of the people say like, why? Yeah, because it's like I don't know I don't know for the word, but some of them, the worst in working, like this is not a good work for most of the people. Or even in that time, I don't know if you know about like what the difference of a teacher and medicine, like someone working in the hospital. For them, they have like one thing is very different. So the common things like this is they help people, for growing people. So the one is working in the hospital. When, for example, they make one mistakes, just one people will be died. But when the teacher make mistakes, minimum is like one of the classrooms will be died.
Yeah.
It's nothing died like physically, but mentally it will be died like that. So this like a switch is very important for us teaching.
You already told us about how did you hear about AIMS, which is like your brother, but would you please tell us about your life at AIMS Senegal?
Yeah, first of all, it was wonderful to meet some students from the different countries, the different culture. But just is a little bit hard for me about the study at AIMS Senegal, because most of the courses focus on the mathematics, and this was not my field. So, but by the way, with the help of some of the teachers, some of my friends, so it was a bit okay for us. But by the way, in general, the life in Senegal is wonderful. Even the countries, very nice countries, safe countries, and like that.
AIMS has centers in different countries. Why Senegal specifically?
Especially because, as I said before, because of the languages. Because first in Senegal they speak French, and a little bit more easy for me to continue for study. But when I was there, when I starting the course was not just for French too. There was like the both languages, French and English, and that's why too. Like I take like some of the English courses over there, to like improving and more than a little bit about the English languages. This is too like a big advantage for me.
You say you work for Ambatovy. Would you please tell us like a little bit more about how is working there? feels like?
Yeah, as I said before, I was an electrical inspector. This work means like to control the electrical design from the engineering and the electrical installation. I mean, like for example, do you know when this is like a foreign companies for them they don't make like they don't want to make a mistakes for all of the devices, because most of device they use in Ambatovy is from outside, from Canada, from India. When the devices come over there, one of the experts for this device come, they install this device in Ambatovy, and they give like a little bit of training for some of the engineering or some of the technician in this device, and make some of the installation. And for me, my work is to control if this, when they're installing in these devices, should be in this area or not, because some of the devices need like a environment temperature, or this temperature should be not less than 10 degrees, for example, not like up to 25 degrees Celsius, for example. My work is to control all of these things. So some of them, for example, they're working like they're using for a cable. The cable should be 2 millimeter or 1.5 millimeter within the cable for iron cable. So far, my work is to control all of this cable. This is like a comfortable. This is like a suitable for this device or not. Because when those cable is not suitable for or not comfortable for this device, maybe they have the risk of the explosion, by the way, by the future when it's continue for working. So my work is for the control all of these things, and it is like a good work sometimes, but is sometimes it's very critical area, because some of them they discuss like okay, this is okay, no, don't worry, it's not risk by explosion, or all of this something is happen because I make some signature before starting for working. All of these things is come to me and made me maybe will be fire for me over there. So that's why they good. Even sometimes they discuss with some of the experts from outside is very good. The changing some experience is very nice, but that is the way like make some level some docker when they say like this is the when the on the device is right like this device should be working for the 2 millimeter cable to install for this, just to respect this one. Sometimes should be make some pressure for them like no, I don't accept this, I will not sign this if you don't do this one. Even for me, I would like to continue for this work, but when I said to my father like I get an acceptation for pursuing a PhD in Turkey, so I discussed with him, and I said like what can I do? I continue for my work, or I'm going to came back again to study. And they said to me like okay, as you see here, the work is like a routine every day, something like that. Okay, sometimes you find the new things, but in general is some like the routine work. So as I advised for my father like continue for study, because when you're going to study, maybe you can't find like something else, or you're going to increase your knowledge about your things. Even too, all of the Madagascar people, I think like they know this I know this word. I mean, educational is the best heritage. Yeah. So that's why I just continue for I leave my job and continue for study here in Turkey.
Tell me how to pronounce your university correctly, because I don't know. I just copied and pasted from
Erciyes University.
Erciyes University. Would you please tell us how is the program there if someone is going to do a PhD there? how is that process work? Like how long is it? What are the steps that you are taking before you get that PhD degree?
Here in Turkey, as a foreign student, first you should start for Turkish languages for 1 year. Of course, after Turkish language, you get like a C1 certificate. So the university just accept for C1. Yeah, some of the university accept a B1 too, but most of them they accept just a C1. And after the 1 year, you're going for the university. For example, for the PhD, it is like a different area. Some of the undergraduate student or master student or a PhD student, but just talking about the PhD student for us that don't have most of experience about that. So for the PhD student, after this 1 year's language courses, they going to the university and start for the application for us at the first year. In the program, the PhD program in Turkey is fixes 4 years. The first year is like just courses. You take a course for 2 semesters, means like 1 year. After you pass this all of these those courses, so you went you prepare one exam, just they calling it a leak exam. This is means like the test your knowledge. The test your knowledge mean like this student his knowledge is like is enough for continue make some research or not. And this exam is they give us for 6 months, 1 semester to prepare this exam. After if you pass this exam, you're starting for writing your proposal, the proposal of thesis. And when you didn't pass, it give you 1 semester again to prepare another exam and the intern exam after 1 semester. But if you didn't pass again for those exams, so you can say like they said like okay for this bye for the PhD, it's finished.
Okay.
Yeah, that is like the rule. Yeah, it's so hard, but you don't have what to do because this is the rule. And
Yeah.
after when we passed the exam, we went for a proposal. You're writing your proposal with your discuss with your of course discuss with the supervisor or advisor and discuss about the proposal, writing the proposal. And yeah, of course in that during that time, so you should reading a lot of articles because this is the all of the PhD student here. Maybe all of the world, I think, is you are a PhD student. Should be read all of your life is just to read the articles every time, I think. And when you finish the proposal is to give it to institute, and the institute, if the institute said like okay, this is like a no some because they funding some of the I don't know, but I heard here some of the students wrote a proposal. When the institute control it, then they say like no, they rejected the proposal. But but most of the students they accept because when you work with the supervisor, the supervisor control like because they controlling just if this like some they control it if they make like a copy paste for the some of the subject they did it before for some students, something like that. They control it about this, and but this is not a lot of students they have some problem of that. And when they finish, they accept after approve the proposal. So starting for the recharge. So for the recharge, we give you like 3 years of the recharge. This is in general, I think in general for the as a PhD student in Turkey. Even for some of, because most of the program here in Turkey is in Turkish. So all of the courses in Turkish, all of the research is in Turkish. So that's why in the first year we're going to learn Turkish language first. Even some of the university they accept for English program, You should to learn Turkish first for 1 year before you enter the university. But this is the rule. This is the rule. Sometimes it's no need to learn Turkish if you are going to continue your English program. But that is the rule especially for the foreign student here.
You said you started applying for that Turkish scholarship since you were at Ames. Why did you decide to go to Turkey?
Yeah, be honest. I didn't think to coming in Turkey first. Yeah, because when I applied for my PhD when I was in Madagascar, I'm planning to France, Belgium, Germany. Some of those countries I was applying, but my application was rejected. But this one just applying, then they accepted. Even I found like they feel something. They feel that I would like to learning about the energy and accepting for this PhD, and that's why I'm coming to Turkey. But I didn't think in my mind like after my master I'm going to Turkey to pursue this PhD.
For our students who are still reluctant to go abroad in Turkey, would you please give us a little motivational speech? Why should someone go to Turkey to study?
Yeah, I think as I experienced, as I saw here, yeah, really Turkey. I don't know. I don't want to compare it with other countries because even for me, I didn't go for the European countries or some of other countries in Europe. But if I compare in African countries, okay, especially about the education. In Turkey, the education is I can say like is the level of the education is very high, and also the life here in Turkey, I say it is good. Most of the people they worried about to coming here, but I have been here is around like 8 years I here, and I living as a in my own countries. I think like for the student you want to go in to proceed the study here in Turkey, don't worry, just apply, and if you find like a good university, you can just for apply and coming, and also for the opportunity, some of the gaining for opportunity to came for another countries, for example, Europe countries or some of the other countries, and about the real life is a little bit, yeah, now is a little bit because of the inflation. Yeah, this is inflation. I think is all of the world is little bit hard here. But if like for example, some of the people the king some of the euros or dollars come here, so they are become rich because of the inflation of that. So the life is good, and about the education is good, as I said before. I can say the education is high compared to some of the African countries. So for the student wanting the proceeding, I said like okay, just apply and coming, but don't worry, all of the life is good, and you feel I hope that you feel too you are look like in your own country in your film coming here in Turkey.
What keeps you motivated to stay in school? Because yeah, school is hard, right?
My objective is become like expert. When my old professor, when that professor said to me like this research will be finished by the future, in that time my idea come like I'm going to find the new research for the electrical power plant. So in that way, just going for focusing for that objective, just like only for it took a lot of time for this schooling until now. I'm still in here in this school, but if I said like this school is good, maybe some of the people think like no, it should be make money is better than going for the school. Of course, but just in my opinion, it depends of the objective of each person, I think.
Tell us about how you learned English.
how we learn how we learn English. I think like just to make a lot of practice. I think even till now, just continue for make some practice to watching YouTube for the some of the teacher in English, reading books, reading articles. This is, I think, like how that that's why is the method I learn English. I think like that is make fun, some practice and watching movies on YouTube or something like that. I think this is the best way, I think.
Was learning Turkish easier or harder than learning English?
Hard. Very hard. Very hard than English. If, when I wrote my thesis, the manuscript was very, I'm suffering to write this because it's very hard to learn these Turkish languages. Well, for the, for the speaking and writing, something big different because when you're going for discuss with some of the people, your speaking, you can improve easily your speaking. But for writing, just is dependent for our own. So if you don't have like something to write every day, so like it's so difficult to improve for writing. This is I'm suffering for writing for my manuscript, but adjusting give some of my some of the colleagues, the classmates to help us each over about the writing this Turkish. That's why I can't write in Turkish. But for the speaking, okay, for the speaking is no problem because everywhere is speaking language. All of the around of us is speaking Turkish, so it's not a big problem. But for the writing is a little bit very hard for me. But of course, this is depend of the person. As I said before, like when you start for the teaching, to make like a educational psychology. In that way, all of the people didn't think the same thing, and his demand is the capture is not is different. So some of the students, maybe about like 6 months, 5 months like that, they become like fluently in Turkish, but it's not in my case. Wasn't in my case. Even till now, I just continue for learning Turkish languages.
Do you still use French?
Yeah, sometimes when I discuss with most of the African students here, so some of them from of the French countries like Senegal, Morocco, Ivory Coast. So some of them they discuss in French, but a little bit, yeah.
When you moved out of your parents' house to study for the first time, what were like the struggles and what are the adjustments that you needed to make, and what was the lessons that you learned from that experience?
Yeah, there have many lessons I gained from my parents. When I starting for university in Madagascar, I moved from my home's parents. I'm going for another city. So in that way, no one of my family in there, no one of my brother in there. So my mother said like, okay, going for you will be alone over there. No one of your family, no one of your brother or sister, something like that over there. So make some friends, it's okay, but it's not just a friend. Keep it like as your brother. Your classmate is your brother, your family, your brother and your sister. Your teacher, your professor is your father or your mother. Is keep it like that. In that way, make like some of the good relationship. And even until now, when I'm coming to Turkey, I just continue for like that. And just you said when coming of the if you are foreign in the city or foreign in the one countries, just don't you are Malagasy, but keep your Malagasy behavior in Madagascar, but trying to make like as like a Turkish people or as like a French people or as like some these countries people. So learn about their culture, learn about everything they are talk. So in that way, no problem will be happen in the future or by the way. And I just use it until now, and I have like a lot of friends here, like look like in my own country, when I was here in Turkey, something like that. But I think like all of the people, how to get a friend in abroad, how to make like a social things with some of the people when you are foreign in the city or in country.
Okay, would you please let us know what the day in a life of a PhD student in Turkey looks like?
I think is like is the same same as the PhD student in the other countries. All of the world I think is the same. The life of the PhD student just for this reading, writing, thinking, working every day. Every day should be like that because it should be reading a lot of articles, make some experiences, and don't never give up. Just focus on just going on, just continue. It's like that. I think like all of the in the PhDs and all of the countries should be like that. That's why most of the said like to continue for studying as a PhD is not easy because we should make like some sacrifices for other things. Just focusing on the on research. I think is always the same. Maybe for you too, because you are as I know you are doing a PhD student, maybe something like that too is happen. But some make up sacrificing for other things because you have like just one head, so just focusing for one thing for the objective for this study. Yeah, of course, it's not easy, but as I said before, if you have like your objective, you can continue for that way. It will be good by the future.
Yeah, what types of research projects are you working on right now?
Yeah, right now I'm working about energy storage systems, especially for vanadium redox flow battery. I think like I was a little explained before, these systems using especially for charger station for was vehicle or electric vehicle or electric motorcycle they're using for charge of the battery. Because now most of the countries studying the fighting against for this environmental pollution about this wall gases and this natural source to trying to use the electrical vehicle, electrical machine, electrical motorcycle. So those devices, they need like a charging every time. So this system, the energy system using especially for a vanadium redox flow battery. Yeah, of course, for the energy storage, there's a lot of kind of energy storage like a lithium battery, sodium battery, and so on. A lot of method, a lot of materials to use for this. But for me, I want recharging for vanadium redox flow battery. Maybe you're going to ask me again, why vanadium, not another kind of the battery? So because of this one, yeah, this is like a new system until now. It's not like a lot of countries to use it, but this is more safe if compared to other system. There's no risk of the explosion. So the production of this, after that, they use it like a hydrogen to passing the become after the hydrogen when make like a chemical reaction over there, the hydrogen is become through or oxidation and the reduction reaction become make like an electron. The electron is moved over the electrode, they become like electricity. So in that way, no risk of the explosion. That's why this is the one of the advantages for this system. And why too using vanadium? Because compared to other energy system devices or energy system energy storage system element. So this is the lifespan, like the cycle life of this system is up to 20 years. So this is one of the big advantages for this. So up to now, I'm just working focus of the vanadium redox photo. By the way, I'm working about so lot of kind of the battery like fuel cell, lithium, but my own work is focused on this vanadium redox flow battery. I think
Very
in general it's
interesting.
like that. Yeah.
It's very interesting. I still need to watch
Yeah.
this. I definitely still need to
Yeah,
rewatch
if
this.
yeah, if you want to make some more this you can find on ResearchGate or Google Scholar some of the my or output resulting for this my during my PhD journey. Yeah.
Yeah, so how did you manage classes, homeworks, exams, quizzes, clubs, and the college experience? Like, since you, like, let's start when you were at INSET, at AIMS, and now in Turkey. Like, how did you manage all of those things?
Yeah, I think it's the same as a lot of students make like a real schedule for all of these things, especially in at AIMS Senegal. Yeah, maybe is the same similar for the AIMS in Africa for the assessment or for the homework. A lot of homework for the during the weekday, during the week a lot of homework. So just to make like a schedule for this and trying to finish because of even for I just make my own schedule. So it's obviously I'm just I want to finish and I must is I push myself to finish in the real date in the same date in the date as you need this homework. And even here too in Turkey the same. Just to make like a real schedule, make a schedule of a time, and just to finish it in the time as you want to do. We finish it. I think it's the best way for make like a homework. If it's the same of homework or exam or quiz or something else, I think it's the same. Just it depends of your schedule. I think.
How did you study?
First, getting organized, and also don't skip the class. And take notes when you're the classing. You should take notes or looking videos about the topic. For example, thermodynamic, looking some video to make like improve or finding something else maybe, because just in the class, I don't know, when the teacher explain in the class is not enough. This is something I was learning when I pursued my PhD. Just in the class is not enough. You should make like our own research by reading books or watching YouTube. Now, all of the things is most of the information is on YouTube. You have that. And also ask the question. Don't hesitate. I didn't hesitate to ask some question of my teacher. If I see like sometimes I say like maybe this is a stupid question, but just I ask it because I don't know. And also create a study plan. I think like that we stay studying for make like how I can study. Should be like that. I think. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a way to have all the assignments in one location to keep on track?
When I was at HAMS, if I can, like this is the homework, maybe I give it back to the teacher after 2 days or 3 days like that. For me, I'm trying to finish in the one day. I'm trying to finish it in the one day. When I get it, I'm trying to finish it because I know that you have a lot of homework, so I should trying to finish it the one day. So that's why when I finish it, just pick him, for example, in the desk or some of the computer, make it save it somewhere. And before the date I'm going to give it to the teacher, just make like a reminder and trying to find like if there is some mistake or maybe some of the question I didn't reply it or something like that. But for me, when I get like this is the homework, I'm trying to finish it in the same day. And that's why if I finish it, just put in the desk or something. When the time for coming for the give it to back the teacher, I'd like to give it, or just make some control, like maybe some mistake or some of the question I didn't reply it yet, or something like that. But for me, I don't like to for example, getting trying to do it in the last day, because maybe I will not finish it yet. So that's why I'm just starting for the same day when I get the homework. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's very inspiring. Yeah. What study methods do you find most beneficial?
I think make practice. I think this is one of the methods I did. I think is, yeah, of course, it depends of the person. Where, for example, everyone is not same. Maybe I think like which one is feel it comfortable or think is suitable for him. But for me, make his practice, because for example, when doing this PhD journey, for me, reading articles, reading some and learning some equation. After I learn it, directly going for the going for the computer and trying to make some simulation of that, and what will be happen. Because when I make this Vanadium Doxflorbati working as a simulation, so in that simulation, okay, we are taking some of the equation in the software, but some of those equation in there is not working. Maybe some of the error or the result is not the same. When some of the parameter change, a little thing change in the parameter, this is make some big difference for the result, and make some of the wrong result of that. So that's why when after I read some article, you have some of equation to use for the make some result. So I enter for the make some simulation, and I'm comparing the result. And after that, I make some of a comment of the result, because this is the one things I learned during my PhD research. So when you find the result, so it's not that you don't know. Well, of course, maybe you know is the true or false, but the question is coming to my mind. This is a learning from my teacher, that why this result? Why is like this? Even this true, but you should ask a question. Why is like this? Yeah, because it's true, it's okay. But why is like this? Because we need to know you need to know like the source of this result. Where is come this, and this result is come here. And after that, when you change some parameters, what will be happen in our result? So this is the way I learned from my PhD journey. This is too, maybe you can say like this is too like a method for how to study, I think.
Do you feel like you got to enjoy the social aspects of college?
Yeah. Especially play football. I'm a social guy, but I don't like lost my time for discussing a lot of people. But if I go out if I finish the reading something or finish some of my work, just I'm playing football. This is like make like increase the stressing, and also meet some people. And but just for going for discuss social, drinking coffee or something like that, this is not my feeling. So for me, after when I study, going play football or watching football on TV, something like that, and discussing some of the friends. But when I discussing some of social, some of our discussion related to the PhD working, because we are some of the most of my friends is that a PhD student too. That's why.
Yeah. So as you were evolving as a student, did you see an improvement in how you learn?
Of course. Before, when I was in undergraduate or in master, just like to find the result. and to write, like make a statement or make like some exam. This is the question, and after that, make the solving the equation and find the result, and it's okay. But for this way, especially for the PhD research areas, as I said before, is not just to find the result, just to know why the result is like that. For example, if I found like for my result, I found like the result is 9, or some of the researchers getting like 8 or a 8.5 or 7. So most of them is true. All of the result is true because it depends of circumstances, depend of the some of the assumption why you took during your research. But why for me is like that 9? Because I said I found the result because I said like okay, because I took some of the assumption before I starting my simulation. This make like I ignore it during my simulation. Maybe because of that my result is like that. So the result is all of the result is maybe true, but depend of the circumstance, the kind of the option, the kind of the condition as you choose. This way, these things, the thinking about the working, this is I learned during my PhD research, and I gained something else too about this. It's not just to stop about like, okay, I found the result, it's okay. Just to need to know why this result is like that, why my result is like this one, because we're going to make like a comment of our result when you're writing the paper, when you wrote an article, we make some of the comment in the in our manuscript. So that's why you should ask why first, why, and answer. Yeah, this is just the one answer, I think.
Tell us about opportunities in Turkey for international students.
Most of the students working as a sales or a translator, or to translate in English, French, or Turkish, or Arabic, or some other languages. Most of them they're working about that. Because of the rule here, the rule is in the Turkey. The first is you should have like work permit before working, and most of the as I know that most of the companies, they are afraid to give like a work permit as a foreign people here because they have like a high area for the taxing. The government give them, they make like a lot of taxing when they give the work permit for the as international. So that's why, as I know like that, most of the students here, when they finish the working, some of them go back to his country or going to some of in Europe countries, continue for study or working or find an opportunity over there, something like that. But yeah, so a little bit too, they stay here to work, as I said, like a selling or a translator or a teaching too. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really good to know many languages if you are gonna
Yeah.
stay in Turkey.
Oh, yeah. Even not just Turkish or English or French, but even some of the language too is really very important to know that, because we are not foreign, or everywhere you can go, you are not feel like foreigners if you know a lot of languages. This is a good things. Yeah.
What academic resources do you recommend to students?
You can follow this program for because a lot of things you can learn from you, especially about your program. Also for I think a lot of things is now is available on internet, YouTube, Facebook, everything. I think like all of this is, I can make like a make a advising for most of the students, but that's focusing for your objective, that's focusing your aims, because we find a lot of things on this internet, on a lot of what they call social media. You find a lot of things, but just focus for your objective, and is going well in the future.
So what advice would you give to students on networking and making friends?
Make friends is a good thing, it's not a bad thing, but just to know how just to know like which kind of friend I need. as I learned from my parents, if if you want to find a good friend, just to what I mean, just to find the friends as you are the same objective with you. When you make like a friends, just to find that the observer has the same objective of you, has the same idea. For example, if I am a PhD student, I should make a friends with a PhD student too, because in the objective is the same. Maybe I'm going for some of the social things like make sport or going to the bar or doing something. In that way, going for focusing too for the maybe discussing about our academic career, discussing about our research. But if, for example, your friend is you are a PhD student, your friend is maybe is working, yeah, sometimes it's not bad. It's not bad, but you have the idea is different. The idea is different. Someone is going to make money to give his a good life, thinking about his family. And for this one is just for focusing for the research, focusing for study. The ideas make some difference, so that's why I think. But by the way, to go to the make like a difference with those people as is working, because you're not just for studying in your life, especially for example by the future, by the way you're going to make money too. So that's why it's good to learn the something from those people going the working, or just to think about his family, because we're going to do something like that by the future. So I think like just focusing on the objective. All of this is about the objective. If my objective, for example, after that I'm going to make money working something, this I'm trying to find some people, for example, as an academic, I'm trying to make a friend with an academician to learn about from them, like how to become a good academician, something like that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for inviting me, and I hope that this is helpful for some of the people.
Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Please follow the page, subscribe to the channel so that you'll be the first notified when there will be a new video. Bye!